Hi again then guys, and so we've got another GranTurismo 6 PP specific circuit setup for you today, and this time it's for a car which is pretty popular, which is the main reason why I'm doing this tune. I don't personally use the car a huge amount, but it is a good car for the PP for seasonal events, and it's the Suzuki GSX-R 4 at, as you can see, the 450 PP level. Now I've gone for racing softs, but obviously in most seasonals you'll be limited to say sports hards or sports softs. As far as the suspension, we've got the ride height as low as possible, springs we've increased to 6 and 650, the dampers to 5, anti-roll to 4, we've got a little bit of camber on the front, neutral toe, we'll come back to the gearbox last as usual. For the diff, and I would definitely recommend playing around with this to find what suits best for your driving style, but I've got the initial torque on 20, acceleration and braking on 40, which makes the car relatively stiff because it is a naturally skittish car. As far as the power, we do have an oil change. We haven't fitted any of the power upgrades, and we're running 86.7% power, and again there is room for variation here. I'm running the full weight loss package and then a 168 kilo ballast, put 4% towards the front to keep us to an LMP style 49-51 weight split. Now, as I said, there's room for variation, so you could fit less weight, but then obviously you'll have less power. You can get this car, say, right down to 600 kilos, or even less, but you'll only be able to run about 109 or so horsepower. So I've gone for a mix of both. It's not overly heavy, but it's not underpowered either, so it's kind of a mix for a broader array of tracks, because it's light enough to still be nimble, but powerful enough to still hit around 150 to 160 miles per hour. And finally, for our gearbox, you want an auto setting of 149, then for the individual gears, 4.2, 2.9, 2.2, 1750, 1450, and 1225, and I've gone for a final drive of 4.7, which means that at top speed you're pretty much on the red line, because this isn't really the kind of car that you'd use draft with. If you do need draft, then lower it down to say 4.6 or maybe 4.5, but be careful because it will become sluggish. And if you don't need top speed at all, you can increase it to say 4.8 and get even quicker gear changes. But that's it overall for the mechanical setup. Now let's take it out to the track to see how it performs. Now, to be completely honest, and I have mentioned before, I'm not the fastest of drivers, far from it. And my driving style is not geared towards super light track cars. I can drive them, of course, but I don't like to drive them. They just don't really suit me. I prefer cars that are bigger, heavier, and a bit more cumbersome around corners. So this car doesn't really suit me, in essence, but it is extremely quick, and somebody who doesn't hold back as much as I do could definitely get this to absolutely dominate pretty much any circuit at 450 pp. Now around the Nürburgring it can easily go well under 7 minutes at the 450 pp level, and pretty much the only rival that I'm aware of for this car at that level is the Polo GTI, which is also a brilliant car. But that's it overall for this particular PP setup, which is a pretty good car for seasonal events, and we do have a fair amount of 450 PP seasonal events to use it in. So if you are new to the channel and found this beneficial and would like to see other tunes and builds as soon as they're released, be sure to slap that subscribe button down below. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.